Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today here at MadWorldTarot, Sunday afternoon. And today the theme is has been and the things that he has lost. He might be losing the Invictus Games, the way things went and the way the crowd didn't roar with applause when he shuffled off the stage at the end of the closing ceremony, and the disgrace and shame that his wife brought on the whole event. Apparently there are consultations going on behind the scenes, rumor of course, but in the meantime he's also lost things like his military titles and rank and all the rest of it. And there are not rumors, but there are mutterings that it's time already that he should be kicked out of the line of succession and have his Duke of Sussex title removed. British public are over it. Recent surveys said don't want him as Duke of Sussex, don't want her as Duchess of Sussex, and while you're at it, just boot him from the line of succession. He is of course fifth in the line of succession, and as Meghan famously said, allegedly, they are just one plane crash away from being king and queen. King Harry and Queen Meghan. Queen K-W-E-E-N. And the thought is truly horrifying. Now, according to Neil Sean, Charles does not want to do this final act because he is very concerned at Harry's mental state. He's very fragile. Charles is worried that this would tip him over the edge, basically. I'm expanding on what Neil Sean said. I'm speculating. William is not so squeamish about doing the dirty. He is all ready to push Harry out of the line of succession, get rid of him. Camilla is on William's side, apparently ready to roll her sleeves up and drive the tumbril even, perhaps. So we're going to have a look at all of this with the Tarot of the Golden Wheel, which is reading nicely for me at the moment, so I'm going to keep going with it. It is very royal family. It's very important and pomp and circumstance and all of that. We're going to have a look at that with the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. We're going to ask how Harry feels about being booted from the line of succession, how fragile he really is. We're going to ask about Charles's appetite for doing the dirty versus William's appetite for doing the dirty. We also want to know how the British public feels about King Harry and Queen Meghan. How do they feel about that prospect, each of them individually? And then we're going to ask as our outcome how likely Charles is, King Charles, to do the dirty, how likely is William to do the dirty. So ultimately we're going to find out, is Harry going to be removed from the line of succession, which I am calling taking out the fifth. So one more shuffle, and while I do this, let's remember it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion, all speculation. I read energy here, archetypal energy, and of course there is a disclaimer in the box below. Let's have a look. Tarot of the Golden Wheel and see what is going on with the line of succession. Charles and William and Harry and the public, how the public feels about all of this. I would be indignant, I would be appalled, I would be protesting, making my voice heard. We've got the star in reverse. Can you see it? Star in reverse, yeah. That's depression, despair, the star falling literally. His star is in decline. At this point, even though he had his moment of glory at the Invictus Games, and what does he have left? He's got a 2-year wait for the next one. Will he even be patron of the Invictus Games at that point? Open to debate. Lost his military ranks and honours and all the rest of it. Depression, the star in reverse, very depressed. Loss of hope, faith, belief, loss of purpose as well, the star in reverse. It's a very tricky card. And star obviously just generally meaning in these royal readings celebrity, glitz and glamour and shine and place in all of that. So let's have a look at what is really going on. The story that we are looking at, Two of Wands, that's plans. And you can see that these rams are butting heads here in this interesting Two of Wands in this Tarot of the Golden Wheel. And that would probably be the King and the Prince of Wales butting heads over this. It's not normally a card that gives me the sense of conflict, but here it's depicting conflict, fighting for dominance, really. And who's going to win, the King or his eldest son? Who's gonna get their way with this? Two of Wands normally about plans, normally about joint ventures, but here we get sparring, we get a real sense of contest about who wins this battle, and it makes it seem to me that this battle is really raging behind palace walls, that they have meetings about it, they discuss it, and they did have a big family meeting up at Balmoral, and I'm sure that this was discussed, and maybe a straw poll was taken. Who believes that has-been should be in the line of succession? Who believes he should be removed? Interesting energy, very interesting. Thank you, Tarot of the Golden Wheel. Let's have a look and see how Harry feels about being kicked out, removed, not demoted, but literally stripped of that Knight of Wands. I'm an adventurer. It's a very arrogant card, the Knight of Wands, a fiery, reckless energy. Well, I'll just go off, always I say, to Africa, because where else is he going to go? Not Singapore, not Japan, not the country in Europe fighting a war, because he would actually have to fight a war and couldn't sit in his bunker protected by how many Gurkhas? Play computer games, being snarky, of course. But our Knight of Wands thinks, well, to hell with you. I'll just move on and I'll go and be popular somewhere else. It's a very childish energy. It's very impulsive. It's very reckless. It's really not thinking things through. It's acting, reacting, rather than sitting and contemplating and pondering. Hot-headed energy, our Knight of Wands. So it's, well, as I say, to hell with you. I'm off and I will be more popular somewhere else than you all are, you losers, you. It's very teenage. It's insulting to teenagers to say it like this, because teenagers generally, well, you know teenagers, but anyway, apologies to teenagers. How fragile is he? His father thinks that this would tip him over the edge into some sort of existential crisis, maybe dangerous territory mental health-wise. How fragile is he? Oh, he's fragile. Yeah, his dad is right. Scorpio King is right. Ten of Swords. He is ruined. He is at rock bottom, and we saw it. It was such an interesting transition from I'm so happy, I'm beaming, I'm popular, I'm there, and then she arrived and the face got more and more sour and he was sidelined more and more, and the crowd went quieter and quieter. What crowd was there? Empty stadium. Ten of Swords, it doesn't get worse than that. It's a painful ending to something. It's ruin, rock bottom. You're destroyed. He is destroyed. It's a sort of scary card. Really is scary. Okay, let's move on from that energy. Let's look at the King and see how interested the King is in stripping Harry of his dukedom and putting a line through it. Would have to go through Parliament, I gather. The Magician, it's in reverse. He's not going to make this happen. No way. Well, we'll check it again over here. But this is his intentions, doesn't want to do it. He has all the power, all the authority, the Magician. He's got to say the word, and that ridiculously handsome, what's his name, Major Johnny, who's now gone up in the world, would be off in his kilt, whirling his way to Parliament to tell them the King has spoken, and you can roll out the scrolls and sign them. I'm sure they're waiting. Somebody sat there, scraping away with a quill, making whatever pronouncement has got to be made. But no, Magician in reverse, absolutely not, even though it's within his power, because the Magician has all power over all the elements. Not going to do it. Absolutely not, because of Ten of Swords. So Neil Sean seemingly was talking with some authority here, and I guess it's the York connection that knows these things. That's my speculation about him. That's why I continue to watch him. It's always interesting. It always gives me stuff that I can find to explore here on this channel. So how about William? Is William so concerned about Harry, or is he ready to get that scroll out and sign it? We got the 6 of Wheels in reverse. That's the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. This is I would say, yeah, he is ready to do the dirty, because it's a card of sharing and reciprocity and kindness and generosity when it's upright. Charitable, driven by charitable sentiments. I will do my bit, you do your bit, but it's in reverse, which means I'm doing much more than my bit and you are doing diddly squat. And so, bye-bye. You don't deserve to be in the line of succession because you aren't contributing. You actively left and denounced all of us, and you continue to denounce all of us and go off and do whatever you do in California. Nobody is quite sure what he does, but he's certainly not doing what he should be doing to be 5th in the line of succession in Britain. So yeah, William's ready to do it. It's not vicious energy, it's just you don't deserve this and you're out. You've let us all down. 6 of Pentacles in reverse, of Wheels in reverse, letting people down. How about the great British public? How do they feel about King Harry? Do they want him? 10 of Cups in reverse. Oh no, this would be the worst thing ever. A source of great unhappiness. They would grieve the family members. Well, obviously, they would grieve the family that had gone. All the greats. It's a terrible thing to speculate about, and I don't want to be a downer here and discuss things that people don't want to discuss. But we've already lost the 2 greats. We've lost Prince Philip, who was the greatest of all time. We've lost the Queen in her own was the greatest of all time too, and then we would have to lose Charles and Camilla, and we would have to lose the Waleses, all of them, and we don't want to do that. We really don't want to do that. So this would be as grief and horror and woe upon woe. And I would say that scroll would be out, and there were, well, pitchforks maybe and tumbrils. I don't think the Brits really are pitchfork and tumbril types, but you know. Disappointed sigh. That's my sentiment. It's my Irish blood. Anyway, not my French blood, and I have some of that too. Anyway, let's get on with this. And how would they feel about Queen Megan? How would they feel about Queen Megan arriving in those short shorts? 4 of Wands. It's not terrible. In fact, it's very positive, which is quite funny. Perhaps it's for the entertainment factor. The 4 of Wands, they would say, well, if we're going to go down this route of circus and performance and display, why not? Why not have her there at his side? And we can all, because she is at the ginger one's side here, and we can laugh at it all, and it will give us something to find hilarious. I can't possibly interpret that card in any other way. I'm going to clarify it later, because it is quite mystifying, quite honestly. You would expect to see the 10 of Swords there, not this. Perhaps people have begun to feel quite light-hearted about her antics and view her as a source of entertainment rather than something to be taken seriously. I'm seeing that in comments around. So bored with them, so over the whole thing, no longer worried about her and what damage she can do to the monarchy and whatever. Let's just watch it to be entertained. I'm certainly personally taking that route with them now, with her. So we'll clarify it though. How likely is the king to remove the title, boot Harry from the line of succession, and Archie and Lilibet as well? How likely is he to do it? Queen of Pentacles is a very stable and supportive energy. It's not doing the dirty on someone, and I think this is coming from his mother's energy, who was the Queen of Pentacles, of course, Earth sign, Taurus Queen. Who didn't do that. And possibly it's a feeling that's not something she would have wanted either. Let's just keep things steady here. It's a very supportive, nurturing energy, the Queen of Pentacles. And even though we're talking about a man, it doesn't matter. That energy is coming through as I just want to keep him stable. I want to keep the structure around him, which is what the Queen of Wheels does. She puts a protective structure around people so they don't fall down, basically. How about William? Is William going to get round to it one day when he can, when he has the power and the authority to do it? Is he going to do this? Yes. I've got the Ace of Swords in reverse. Normally, swords in reverse are no, but this is a ruthless cutting energy. Sorry about the serpent. We don't want to look at that, so we'll put it away. When the Ace of Swords is in reverse, it's a savage cutting out. It's kind of if you were going into surgery for a horrible disease that was spreading rapidly, wildly, that would be the kind of energy you would get. Kill it, take it out, excise it as ruthlessly as you possibly can. So he's going to do it if his father is not going to do it. And his father is not going to do it. Not unless absolutely pushed to some extreme by some absolutely egregious behavior. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and the star in the reverse tells us it's going to happen. And this energy, which I'd forgotten about, but coming back to Two of Wands, is that energy of, well, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it when I can do it. So just you wait. Tell me about this Four of Wands. Why is the British public so well? It will just be quite funny to have her as our queen. Maybe people are so contemptuous of popular culture that they're no longer stirred by things like this. But let's see. Clarify that. This Four of Wands for me is a bit mind-boggling. Everything else makes sense to me in this reading. That card really doesn't. So let's see. What else you can tell us, please, about the Four of Wands? The joyful celebration that it signifies for Queen Mige. Unless it's her joyful celebration. And they see it as that she would be everywhere rejoicing. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's her energy that's coming through, because that's her energy. The sun is her Leo energy. Look at me in the spotlight. That's what they see. They see it would all be about her. Just like the Invictus Games turned into a parade, a fashion parade, if you can call that fashion. We look at that soon. Oh my word. But it was a Meghan's parade. There she was going along with those skinny legs and giant feet. And just so inappropriate. It would be an inappropriate display. That's how I'm reading this. It would all be attention seeking. It would be narcissism. Like you've never seen narcissism. It would be the Sun King in France before the revolution. And I was talking about pitchforks and tumbrils, and we know what happened. Eventually, with the French monarchy came to a sticky end. I think that the people would be saying, try it. That's how I'm reading that energy. But they would be prepared to sit and watch the spectacle if the spectacle happened, because they know what happened. Eventually fly too close to the sun, and eventually down you go. So that's interesting, very interesting cards. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.